Hi, my name is Matt. Welcome to the fourth part of the tutorial when I show you how to make an RPG mechanics. Today we will make our player turning when we press WSAD keys on the keyboard, and we will add some turning animations. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. So that's what we left off. I just grab camera movement script and move it down just to make all my scripts next to each other. Now let's open up player motion script and add some features. I need four not public actually, booleans: bool forward, back, left and right. Now at the beginning of every frame I will check either I press W or S or A or D, and I believe in the future we will write our customizable input, but for now we will use just input.get key. So let's forward equals input.get key, keycode.w, and what it does, it returns a boolean, either this key is pressed or not. And I will do the same for back. Let me just copy that. And just S A D. Okay, and now we will calculate the angle based on our keyboard input. I mean, when we just press W, and the angle that we want to rotate our player by keyboard is 0. When I play just D, for example, our input is 90. Okay, so how we gonna do that? We will type if forward and not back. I mean, I'm pressing W and I'm not pressing S. So then if I'm pressing left and not right, and I need the variable to store this, so let's type int angle to rotate, and here angle to rotate is gonna be -45 because we are pressing forward and left. Then else if not left but right, our angle to rotate would be 45. And else, meaning that I'm pressing neither of A and B or both of them, our angle to rotate would be 0. And then else if I'm pressing not forward but backward, it would be very similar actually, but when I'm pressing backward and left, our angle will be 145, 35, and here would be 185, and here will be 180. And else, and here we will check if we press left and not right, or right and not left, because here when we executed this else, we either press W and S at the same time, or we press neither of them. So let's type if left and not right, angle would be -90, and else if right and no left, angle would be 90. And because this code is really long, I will make function. It would be type of void and call it calculate angle. And we will copy this and paste over here. Okay, let me zoom in actually. So now I can use my variable called angle to rotate, and I'm gonna add this here. And what it does, you see, I can now move. When I'm now I'm holding W and D, and when I'm holding W and SAD, I'm just moving forward. Now I'm holding W and A, and I'm moving forward left. But there is a problem. Now I'm just pressing A, and I cannot walk. And that's because in our animator we are passing movement value, which is just positive get axis. I mean, we are just passing over here input that get axis vertical, and we are executing this transition when it's greater than 0.1. And for example, when I'm pressing S, I'm also doing movement, but get axis returns -1. So I can type mattf that absolute, and now I will return absolute value of that. And now when I'm pressing S, I can move, but I can still move left and right. So let's so I can change it to horizontal, and now I can move left and right, but I cannot move forward. So what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna type math that max and here would be vertical. Okay, too much brackets. Okay, and let me see if it's working actually. Okay, and as you see now I can press whatever I want. So what we've just done, we made our player going into camera direction, and we can also choose the his rotation by pressing WSAD. As you can see now I'm holding A, and I'm also adding some rotation using my mouse input. That's nice, but we need some other turning animation to make him move much fluently. So for that I'm gonna decrease rotation speed to like 0.8. Let's check. So now as you can see he's rotating really slowly. Not too fast. Okay, anyway. And now, as you remember probably, or you don't, I have brought a walk turn animation, and now I will use it. So first change anim compression to off, call the name walk turn right, click loop pause and loop time and make it as short as possible, just loop it. Okay, now let's see. I'm starting by staying on the left leg, put left leg, put right leg, and it's looping very well. Okay, hit fix mask, why not, and bake root transform position Y into pose. Hit apply and change the speed to 1. Right now let's drag and drop it here onto animation window, and I know I've just available footer key. I know I can use blend tree, but blend trees doesn't work well with slow animation. I believe I can show you actually. So anyway, just let me add 2 animations. First would be walk and second would be turn, and let's hit play. As you can see, the blending is done sometimes really randomly, and I know you've probably seen the mechanical tutorial that Unity released while releasing animator controller component. It was Unity 4 point something, I don't remember, but we will just manually add all those transitions to make him move much better than the blend tree would do it. So I've just released, I misclicked, so turn, and we need some parameter to decide whether or not we should make a transition into walk turn right. So in order to do that, I'm gonna add floating point parameter called angle, and you probably guess what would be our angle parameters. anim.set float angle. It would be this math that delta angle. And now, as you see, let me increase this value. For now, I'm just gonna show you. So now the value is 0 and my camera is behind our player. When I move it like that, the value increases, and when I press like D, the value increases very, and it's still being 0 when player goes into the direction that I'm choosing. Now let me decrease this value and I will show you something to you. And then let's say I hit D, want him to go into vertical direction, and then I move camera on his back, and now I stop, and the camera is actually between behind his back, but our angle parameter is too big. It should be like 90 smaller, and that's because here we need else statement and set angle to rotate equals 0. And now there's no problem with that. So actually, because there's no problem with the parameter, let's make the transitions. And I right click on walk F, select make transition and drag and drop it onto walk, then right. Then let me zoom in. Actually, I have this window and I want those lines be close to each other, so let's just make it like this. And I need exit time, meaning that I will show you in a minute. I need a movement parameter just in case I won't be moving our player, but when angle is big I want him to go into idle, not really into turning, so we need this condition. And also we need angle greater than, let's say, 30 or 25. Okay, right now let's start. I'm pressing W, and when I turn, he's turning, and I didn't set the back transition, so he will still move forward, but move right, but whatever. I just mean when I uncheck his exit time, I will be able to move anytime really, and I can get this scratchy really. I just may have some problems with transition from one state to another, that's why we need an exit time, and it causes also problem because it means that it will play the transition only if I'm on this state of animation, meaning that when I move my mouse here, it will wait and play animation unless I will be in this moment. And you can deal with that just creating multiple transition and choosing different moments, and I will probably do it in the future, but it's actually boring and not really worth to watch. So I will show you how to do it and just pause video, but not really now. And now I'm gonna make transition back and move it over here like this, and it works really well. I don't need really movement condition for now. I just need an angle condition, and it must be less than what I just 25 can be. Now let me, okay, when okay, he's rotating much too slow, so actually let me increase this value again to like 2.5. Now I'm playing different animation actually, and then I'm transitioning into moving forward. Oh, it's still too slow. I'm never satisfied with this rotation speed. Why he's rotating that slow? Okay, let me change this animation. Okay, so the solution was very simple. We just need to tag this animation as turnable. And now he will behave properly. I mean, he will just turn as we want and then go back into idle. And I can, for example, change the direction that he's walking, and he plays some kind of animations via transitioning, and that's nice. And similarly, I'm gonna add walk turn left, but I don't want this video to take a whole day, so I will post the video here. Okay, I've added turning left animation, which is very similar. I execute the transition when movement is greater than 0.1 and angle is less than -25, and I'm executing transition back when angle is greater than -25. And don't forget to tag it as a turnable. And now, as you see, our character plays a turning animation as we want it to be. And what I've done, actually, I've changed this value again. I promise not to touch it anymore, but I'm satisfied, so okay. And this video is probably 20 minutes long, so I believe I will finish for now. And this is the end of the fourth part of the tutorial. Hope you learned something. In the next video I'll probably add some multiple transitions and hopefully add jogging and running animations, because when you know how to do this stuff it starts to be boring, so I want to go through that really fast and then we'll go to customizable input. But it's all for today. Thanks for watching, stay tuned, and till next time, bye.